Teignmouth Methodist Church. I want you to notice that side of the church there. Okay, particularly that little bit there. And this here, the NAS, used to be the electricity board showroom. So, try and line him up. That's about right. This is what it would have looked like. So here we go, that was 1930. Free iron at the electricity board showroom. What a queue, crazy. There, and that corner of that roof there, come into this picture here. I'll put the date on it from 2010 of some kids doing the carnival. Lovely. So there we go, stood by this fence here back in 2010 with that in the background. Ready for the carnival. Lovely. What I'm going to do is to run you the pre-prepared information and pictures from Dawlish Museum. So any inaccuracies, don't blame me, blame Dawlish Museum. See you in Dawlish. Here you go, enjoy. This is the first known image of the original pair of black swans taken in early 1908. All the other images before this date show only white swans on the brook. For example, this one from 1905, just white swans. Sadly, the black swan population died out between the two world wars and the breeding programmes could not keep up with the mortality rate from dog attacks and road accidents, etc. In November 1947, after one of the few surviving swans had walked under a bus in the dark, Captain Pittman, a game warden of Uganda, organised a pair of black swans to be sent from Taronga Zoo in Sydney. Since the black swan became the official symbol of Dawlish, much effort has been made to maintain a healthy black swan population. Bert and Kimber are the current breeding pair, and there are at least 8 adult and 4 youngsters there at the moment. There are images of black and white swans cohabiting even as recent as 2016, when the visiting pair of white swans came for a break and stayed for a few weeks before setting off for home. Now, as promised, the first of 2 peaks on the sea wall. Now, I know a lot of you train enthusiasts will know exactly what I'm talking about, but anyone that doesn't, like say my mum when she watches it, it turns out, and I say turns out because I had to research it myself, a peak is a class of locomotive. There's 3 of them apparently, or not 3 trains, but 3 different classes called the peak class. And here's one in the 1970s coming along the wall just here. And I think this is pretty much the exact point it was taken from, because that bank there would be the bank in the picture, I think, along with the cliffs obviously as they are. Maybe just a fraction more there, but anyway, that was the first peak on the seawall. I did promise you 2 peaks on the seawall, twin peaks, not actual twins, but 2 of them meaning twin. And here's the other one, here's the second one. Here you go, not sure the date on that, bit of an older photo, but there we go, second peak on the seawall. So there we go, twin peaks. But it shows you the 3 tracks down there when instead now we've got 2. And it also shows you where that tree is there. The backs of the houses that we showed you the other day with the dairy and the antique shop on Brook Hill, Higher Brook Street. Anyway, here we go. Right, haven't got an exact date for that, I'm afraid, but that was it there. I also want you to look at the bridge up ahead, because that's what we're going to be looking at next, that one there. That bridge earlier, here it is, 24th of the 2nd, 2012, being repaired, rebuilt, lovely. So that's here, the bridge across the railway line by the back of the library, along here, just down from the Alice Cross Centre, which we'll be looking at next. Here we go, at the Alice Cross Centre, mid-80s photograph. They've just taken delivery of a new minibus donated to the centre by somebody. So here's a photo to commemorate that. And that's the Alice Cross Centre, which deals with elderly and vulnerable people. Here next to St James's on Bitton Park Road. Right, here we go. Doesn't take much explanation really, other than the word steamer at the pier. Here we go. No date, I'm afraid. Steamer at the pier, in the wind. Ah! Into Northumberland Place for another then and now. Okay, another set of flats in Teignmouth. But this is one for all you lost pub people. That was the Queensberry Arms. It was around all my lifetime, closed in 2012. Here you go. Yeah, Queensberry Arms, that's just up here, right opposite the King Billy. And of course, Keats' house next to it. So just down here, at the end of this little walkway, where the two stone pillars and the steps are ahead of me, there used to be a set of whalebones. And at the other end by the team bean as well, but that's another story. And another picture came up the other night. So I thought I'd show that. Here we go, the whalebones. Still got the little bench there, haven't they? Even if it's changed angle a little bit. But the stone pillars are still the same. Lovely. And now, I thought I'd set the picture to my phone, I haven't. I seem to remember it's roughly about here. I'll put the date on the picture. I think it's the Cornishman. Lovely picture though. Here you go. Yeah, somewhere along here, but like I say, I haven't got the exact photo on my phone to match it up, but I've got the other two, so all good. Okay, here's a drawing, 1800s, Parson and the Clerk. So that headland certainly looks slightly different. But to be fair, I'd like to see those trains coming along on a daily basis, like in that drawing. Wouldn't that be good? And he said he's got a picture hanging on his wall, an oil painting of possibly this stretch of line. So I'm going to show you the picture and tell you a little bit about it in a voiceover, and I'll talk about it just afterwards. It's a Western class diesel, possibly an excursion train, hence the Z on the headboard, drawing out of Teignmouth on the up line towards Exeter and Paddington. Right, well I'm not 100% sure, although it looks very, very similar, if that was here or not, or supposed to be here, because the cliffs aren't really high enough on the right, and there's no walkway here on the left. But apart from that, everything else looks almost exactly spot on, which leads me to believe it could possibly be a case of artistic interpretation. Or it may be somewhere else completely different, but it's a lovely picture anyway, so thank you very much for sending that in. And I showed it anyway, because it's great. Cheers. Thanks for the submission.